Alright. It is time for I cast your freaking awesome replays. And the challenge this week, of course, was Backstab Butcher, where players had to try and harass and counterattack and backstab their opponent as much as possible. Avoid the front-on attacks or whatnot. Trying to go around behind and constantly be nipping at their heels and hitting their economy. And up here in the top left-hand side of the map, the Zerg player, it is Psystorm Community Team's Minimoog.
My man.
Down here in the bottom right-hand side, the Protoss opponent, it is Yeehaw! People got really angry because I was casting... Was it this same player? I was casting someone called Yeehaw the other day, and I kept saying Yeehaw because that's the way it's spelled. Yeah. People were like, you're saying it wrong, pig. And I was like, I don't know, man. I've never, like, read it written out repeatedly. Yeehaw! I'm like, normally I would say yeehaw, right? Everyone played, like, cowboys and shit as a kid. But, yeah. I don't know, man. I kind of want to just keep saying yeehaw just to piss people off. Anyways, if you guys want to play the next week's challenge... The upcoming one is Fighting the Tide. Use many waves of attack and harassment and expand behind each one to grow as large as the ocean. So I want you guys to try and give your opponents... Ooh, Minimoog goes for the attack, does not get the probe. Yeehaw gets out of there, doesn't quite get trampled by those bovine drones. Yes, I want you guys to give your opponents the experience with this upcoming challenge of fighting against the tide. You know when you're a kid and you're always like, you're at the beach and you're like constantly like grabbing handfuls of sand and running out and throwing them at the waves and you're like, get fucked, ocean, get fucked, I'll fight you. That wasn't just me, right? I'm pretty sure I used to do that a ton. I think my older brother and me used to do it. Well, like, fucking, let's fuck up the ocean. You know, pretty sure a lot of kids do this, right? You know, you're young, you're testing your boundaries. You're like, maybe I can beat the ocean in a fight by throwing sand at it. But anyway, I want you guys to make your opponents on ladder have that same feeling of those children when they realize the ocean does not give a fuck and it's bigger than they could ever possibly fathom. So that's that's a nice way of doing it. Get on into it and send me your best replays. It's really cool because it's going to really force you guys to have a little bit more of a mapped out game plan in the early game. Where it's like, all right, I run the zerglings over and I take a base and I build a bunch of drones and then I run some roaches over and I build some more drones and I take another base and then I run some mutas in. You know, like you're going to have like a tiered bunch of attacks or harassments or things. But the idea is you're always going to be growing behind it. If you guys are a fan of Special, obviously a fantastic Terran player, I think he's someone you could draw inspiration from because his whole style has pretty much always been attack and expand, harass and expand, keep doing, and everything he's doing, he's always taking a quick expansion behind it. And even when he screws up one or two waves of pressure or they don't go quite the way you would want, he gets big. Like he gets very, very, very big. He gets massive, in fact. He's large and in charge. Now, I'm not sure my compression is actually working on my new mic, so if I do clip a bit and stuff, you guys let me know. But anyways, Adept is coming on in. I've made myself nice and loud after a lot of noise complaints recently about me being a bit too quiet. Oh my god, the drones just killed the Adept. The Adept killed 2 drones, and then the Queens came and killed a 3rd drone. It says only 2 drone kills, but 3 died because the Queens, Minimoog, actually just turned on his own cow. I'm going to say it had mad drone disease. I think that's the reason. Minimoog didn't want it to infect the rest of them, right? All right, so first wave of Backstab looks like he's going to be coming in from Yeehaw with an Oracle sliding in the back door. But 2 Queens and a Spore ready to greet it. The Spore not quite done. Meanwhile, over here, the Adept, oh, look at that. She wriggles her way into that mineral line, and she's going to 1v3 those Zerglings. Get out of here. The last one runs away is like, okay, that was not a great trade. And that Oracle, run away. All right, Yeehaw is getting diddled right now. The Phoenix is going to come in and shut down that. Sorry, I said getting diddled. Wait a second. The Zerg has F-all drones. So the Zerg has taken a lot of damage here. Is on 32 versus 40 probes. But if you can get a cancel on the 3rd, it's all worth it, right? That's the one thing. Ooh, stasis trap on the high ground could be nice. Unfortunately for Yeehaw, there are so few drones that a single one walks over and sets it off. Oh no. Now, there are 3 adepts here, but unfortunately that one can barely reach, 1 adept and 2 zealots warping in, and a very important cancel there for Minimoog, who comes in and says, you're going to backstab me? You think you're a bit of a butcher? Welcome to Zergling Town, dickhead. These 2 zealots say, we welcome it, dude. Any chance to go and join the floating fucking ocean of energy that is the Kala? The Zergling's like, you know that's not real and that's just a story they made up, right? To make you pay your fucking Protoss tax to, you know, help maintain the Kala and make your nexuses look nice. The Zealots are just like too stupid though. Let's be real. Zealots are like probably, if you're in Protoss society, they're just like, oh yeah, we just do an IQ test when the kid's like 4 years old. And if it's below a certain amount, you just like, you become the Zealot caste, you know? They're like, you're our bravest soldiers. You have honor. You're fantastic. You're definitely not our just stupidest, most expendable people. Here we have adepts, a slightly higher intelligence quota, I think, on those 2. Oh, Oracle actually got a nice stasis trap there. So this Oracle is getting his little backstab on, being a bit of a dickhead. Minimoog still hasn't considered maybe put an Overlord over here so he can't just keep doing that to you repeatedly. That might be a good idea, mate. That Oracle's just going to wait 50 energy and do it again. Minimoog! Minimoog does have a lot of workers, though. It's a good economy, going up to Roach Hydra. So it's doing some good things. 50 energy. And look at that, exactly on 50 energy. You could tell Yeehaw was just waiting for it. Gets another 5 drones. Minimoog, let's go to Minimoog's camera. I bet Minimoog doesn't even notice. Minimoog doesn't give a fuck. Minimoog's like, oh, what? Some drones are frozen there? Okay, I'll send a queen over. But even then, he doesn't actually send her far enough over. Okay. Overlords accidentally popped and got rid of the Oracle. Good job, Minimoog. Good job, you. Oh, shit. We got some lovely support in the chat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. So the idea of this challenge was obviously backstab, counterattack. Looks like right now, the next idea of Yeehaw's counterattack is going to be, I'm going to make 10-gate Zealot in your main base. I guess that is a backstab, isn't it? Building your army inside your opponent's base. He's got literally like an Archon and 2 adepts at home. And is like, hey, hello? Hello? Meanwhile, Minimoog is only building Lings and Hydras right now. These are not very tanky units. They've got good damage, but they're so bloody fragile. Those Zealots in the Mineral Line are refusing to fight someone their own size. The Zerg's like, come fight someone your own size. Come fight someone your own size. The Zealots are like, oh, I'll just punch these children in the face. Thank you. You know, I once tried to fight a pack of Hydralisks. It resulted in death for my brother. Instead, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to run into the nursery where the drones are mining minerals. And I'm going to punch one in the head and literally watch its head spin 360 like it's the fucking Exorcist girl. Yeehaw's like, okay, all right. Minimoog's like, can you please fuck off, dude? Oracle's going to come in and start to pick off some creep tumors. Hydras say, no, leave our tumors alone. The one race, when someone offers to remove their tumors free of charge, that is like, no, we like our cancer, thank you very much. How dare you try and remove those tumors on me liver? You're like, okay. It's kind of fucked up, dude, but all right. Maasai Templar with Psy Storm. Pretty good against Ling Hydra. Minimoog is going to think twice about that and is then going to decide, it's okay, we're doing a 5 Hydralisk run by. Look at these little fucking guys. Holy shit. What, they're going to try and run in the natural, and then he's... What is this? These 2 Hydras run in, they say, oh, I bet we can 2-verse entire army. This shit. That Hydra chases a Phoenix. Those ones run into hit a Cybercore. Minimoog, I think, is trying to also backstab here, and I think is realizing that 4 Hydra backstab is about the most impotent thing you could possibly do. Talk about bringing a frying pan to a machine gun party. You know, it's not quite the right thing to do. Look at this. This single Zealot's like, get the fuck out of my house, dickhead. Get the fuck out of here. The Hydras do turn around and take care of him. They say, oi, come on, mate. 5v1. We can win that at least. The Observer, of course, perving as always. Just seeing everything that rallies out. There's already a Roach Warren, but we're building a second one. I think... There we go. Minimoog's realized. Cancelled it. I mean, Minimoog's got a big pack of Hydras out right now. So it's all going to be about Psy Storm to counter that one. And these Zealot run-bys are just so deadly. Another Warp Prism. So we've got... Okay, the Warp Prisms... Zealots are already waiting on the top right. Warp Prism's going to go around the bottom left. Ling Hydra waiting. We've got Infestation Pit and a Baneling there. So it looks like it's gonna be Hydra Bane without any melee upgrades. Which I guess if you're mostly Hydra focused is okay. But as we said, Mass Psy Storm is there. Now, I do like the splits. Prism coming up. The problem for the Zerg is he's trying to set up this, haha, I'm going to attack you. And these Zealots are going to run in and slaughter this mineral line. Like, all these kids are like, yay, picking up minerals, doop-de-doop. Abathur, of course, has basically trained them. So, like, they think they're playing a game. For those who don't know, it's kind of like kids playing with Play-Doh. Drones fucking love mining minerals. He's just designed them so that for them it's playtime. They're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm so lucky to be part of the swarm. I get to just mine minerals. And they don't even mind it. They don't even mind the fact they've literally been custom designed to be the slaves of their race. But, you know, whatever. Psychopath Abathur. We all knew he was a bit fucked up when we saw Kerrigan's heels and her ridiculously firm buttocks in StarCraft 2. We're like, oh, so what happened? Raynor took a shitload of steroids and got 30 kilograms of muscle. Kerrigan apparently just did squats and also got some heels fused onto her body. Which, unfortunately, in this case, Minimoog not having the power of the heels and the excessively overbuilt glutes, unable to hang on and weather the storm of Protoss. And that's the way it goes, doesn't it? I like the setup. Let's go back and really appreciate this setup because this was quite beautiful. This is Protoss is like, man, it's really hard to attack with Storm, but you know, whatever. I guess I'll just expand. And the Zerg's like, oh, I'm going to do the sickest two-prong attack with just Hydra Lang. To be fair, Minimoog took literally forever to set this up. Had no Banelings or Roaches and wasn't really maxing. It's not a bad idea to have a little pokey poke, see what you can get done. And I love the way the Hydra's split in the mineral lines. This was really cool from Minimoog, going for backstabs. Unfortunately, Yeehaw over here was like, yeah, I've already got 10 Zealots up there, Prism going into the main, a Prism on the left. And it turns out that Zealots a little bit more mobile and higher damage than the Hydras. These Hydras did pretty much nothing except distract. But look at that. These guys were A-move to defend, and the Hydras go straight past. The Zealots come in, catch the Queens on the north. Prism is up in the main. There's Archons on the left that are going to run in there with some Zealots. Yes, the Hydras are doing some damage, but the Zealots are going to tear it up. And this Spore Crawler is like, if only I could root over here. If only. Very well done by Yeehaw. Shout out to the Endless Stasis Trap from the high ground. I don't think it did that much damage, but I think it probably tilted Minimoog a bit and pissed him off. Here we have the, once again. Yeah, because punching the children in the head wasn't enough. You need to use your fucking laser that kills 10 at a time. Welcome to Archons, guys. They're like, well, I sacrificed my life to become a giant cotton ball of fucking electric doom. Better make it worthwhile. I'd like to kill 6 children a shot, please. You're like, oh, okay, that's messed up. You guys are serious sickos. Get out of here. And on that note, thank you very much, Yeehaw and Minimoog, for submitting that game for iCast. You're freaking awesome replays. Guys, don't forget to get your challenge in for next week, Fighting the Tide. Info, of course, is down below in the description. And as always, in me Twitch chat, if you guys want to help support on the Patreon, info's down below. A big thanks to all of you who are here, of course, on the Wall of Bacon, especially Vivek and Maxan and Colonel. Much love for the overwhelming support, fam. See you in the next episode. Goodbye and good night.